Hey everyone, welcome back to Native Speakers Channel. I'm Johnny, and I'm so excited you're here with us today. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our English lessons. Today, we have something really practical and super useful for you. We're going to talk about how to complain and solve problems in English. And trust me, this is essential for real conversations. Whether you're at a restaurant, dealing with customer service, or solving problems at work, knowing how to express yourself politely but firmly is so important. And joining me today is my good friend Sarah. Sarah, are you ready to dive into this?
Absolutely, Johnny. I'm so ready. This is such an important topic because, let's face it, things don't always go as planned, right? And when you're speaking in a second language, it can feel even more challenging to express dissatisfaction or solve problems without sounding rude or too passive.
Exactly. So today, we're going to walk through different scenarios, give you tons of useful phrases, and show you how native speakers actually handle these situations in real life.
So, Johnny, let's start with the basics. Why do people find complaining in English so difficult?
That's a great question, Sarah. I think there are a few reasons. First, different cultures have different approaches to complaining. In some cultures, being very direct is normal, but in English-speaking countries, especially in the UK, Canada, and Australia, we tend to be quite polite and indirect when we complain.
Right, and in American English, we're somewhere in the middle. We're more direct than British English, but we still value politeness. The key is finding that balance between being assertive and being respectful.
Exactly. So let's talk about the structure of a good complaint. Sarah, what's the first step?
Well, the first step is to stay calm and polite. Even if you're really frustrated, starting with anger will make people defensive, so you always want to begin with a polite opening. For example, you could say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but I have a problem I'd like to resolve."
That's perfect. Notice how Sarah used "I'm sorry to bother you." This is a very common softener in English. We're not actually apologizing for having a problem, we're just being polite. Other good openings include, "I hate to complain, but I was wondering if you could help me with something. I'm afraid there's been a problem."
Those are all excellent. Now, after your polite opening, you need to clearly state the problem. This is where you need to be specific and factual. Don't say, "Everything is terrible." Instead, say exactly what went wrong.
Right. Let's do an example. Imagine you're at a restaurant and your food is cold. How would you handle that?
Okay, so I would say something like, "Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but my pasta arrived cold. Would it be possible to heat it or get a fresh plate?"
Perfect. Notice a few things there. Sarah said, "My pasta arrived cold," not "You served me cold food" or "Your kitchen is terrible." She focused on the problem, not on blaming anyone. Then she offered a solution. Would it be possible to heat it or get a fresh plate?
Exactly. Offering a solution or asking for one shows that you're being reasonable and you want to work together to fix the problem. This is so important in English-speaking cultures.
Now, let's talk about useful phrases for different situations. Sarah, what about online shopping? That's a super common scenario these days.
Oh yes, online shopping complaints are probably the most common type these days. Let's say you ordered something and it arrived damaged. Here's what you might say in an email or chat. "Dear customer service team, I'm writing regarding order number 12345, which I received yesterday. Unfortunately, the item arrived damaged. There's a crack on the screen of the phone. I've attached photos for your reference. I would appreciate it if you could send a replacement or process a full refund at your earliest convenience. Thank you for your assistance with this matter. Best regards, Sarah."
That's a textbook example of a professional complaint. Notice the structure: greeting, order reference, clear problem description, evidence, photos, requested solution, polite closing. That's exactly how you should write complaint emails.
And here are some key phrases for written complaints. I'm writing to express my concern about. Unfortunately, the product or service did not meet my expectations because. I was disappointed to find that. I would appreciate your immediate attention to this matter. I look forward to your prompt response.
Those are great. Now, let's talk about phone complaints, because calling to complain can be even more nerve-wracking for English learners.
Absolutely. On the phone, you need to be clear and organized because the person can't see any evidence. Let's role-play a phone complaint. I'll be the customer, you be the customer service representative.
Sounds good.
Ring. Hello? I'm calling about a billing issue on my account. My name is Sarah Johnson, and my account number is 789456.
Thank you for calling, Ms. Johnson. I'm happy to help. Can you tell me what the issue is?
Yes, I noticed I was charged twice for my subscription this month, once on the 5th and again on the 15th. I should only be charged once per month.
I see that on your account. You're absolutely right. I'm processing a refund for the duplicate charge right now. You should see it back in your account within 3 to 5 business days. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's perfect. Thank you so much for resolving this quickly.
Okay, let's break down what just happened there. Sarah did a few things really well. First, she immediately gave her name and account number. This saves time and shows you're prepared.
Right, and I stated the problem clearly and factually. I was charged twice. I also gave specific dates and amounts. The more specific you are, the easier it is for them to help you.
And notice how I, as the customer service representative, used phrases like, "I apologize for that inconvenience," and "I'm happy to help." When you're on the receiving end of a complaint, these phrases are essential.
Speaking of which, let's talk about the other side. What if you're the one who needs to respond to a complaint? Maybe you're a manager, or you're handling an issue for your team at work.
Great point. When responding to complaints, you want to follow the AAA method. ACT. Acknowledge, apologize, act.
Act. I like that. Can you break it down?
Sure. A means acknowledge that you recognize the problem and show empathy. I understand how frustrating that must be. I can see why you're upset about this. That's definitely not the experience we want you to have. Apologizing means taking responsibility, even if it wasn't directly your fault. I sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. I'm really sorry that happened. We apologize for falling short of your expectations. And act means offering a solution or fixing the problem. Here's what I'm going to do to fix this. Let me make this right by, I can offer you this as compensation for your trouble.
That's such a useful framework, and the order matters too. You can't jump straight to the solution without acknowledging their feelings first.
Absolutely. People want to feel heard. Let's do another role play. This time, let's do a workplace scenario. Sarah, you're my colleague, and you're coming to me with a complaint about a project.
Okay. Walks over. Hey, Johnny, do you have a minute? I need to talk to you about the Henderson project.
Of course. What's going on?
I'm a bit concerned because I wasn't included in the meeting yesterday, even though I'm responsible for the client communications. I found out about the changes third-hand, and now I'm worried I might give the client outdated information.
Oh no, Sarah. I'm really sorry about that. You're absolutely right. You should have been in that meeting. That was an oversight on my part. Let me fill you in right now on everything we discussed, and I'll make sure you're included in all future meetings. I'll send you the meeting notes. Would that work?
Yes, that would be great. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page so I can do my job properly.
Absolutely. And thank you for bringing this to my attention. Communication is so important on this project.
Perfect. So let's analyze this workplace complaint. Did you notice how I used "I'm a bit concerned" instead of "I'm angry" or "this is unacceptable"? In professional settings, we soften our language.
Right. And you explained the impact. Now I'm worried I might give the client outdated information. You weren't just complaining to complain. You showed why it matters.
And you, Johnny, followed the AAA method perfectly. You acknowledged my concern, apologized, and offered immediate action. Plus, you thanked me for bringing it up, which makes the person feel good about speaking up.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about some situations where you need to be more assertive. Sometimes being too polite means you don't get results.
Yes, this is where escalation language comes in. If your first polite attempt doesn't work, you need to be firmer. Here are some phrases. I understand, but this is not acceptable to me. I'm afraid that solution doesn't work for me. What else can you offer? I've been patient, but I need this resolved today. I'd like to speak with a supervisor, please. This is the third time I've contacted you about this issue.
Those are all good, but even when you're being assertive, you're still professional. You're not yelling or insulting anyone. You're just standing firm on your needs.
Absolutely. And here's a pro tip. Use the word need instead of want when you're being assertive. I need this resolved by Friday sounds more urgent and necessary than I want this resolved by Friday.
That's a great tip. Now let's talk about some common mistakes people make when complaining in English.
Okay, mistake number 1, being too emotional. I know it's hard when you're frustrated, but saying things like, "This is the worst service ever," or "You people are incompetent," will not help your case.
Right. Mistake number 2, not having your facts straight. If you're complaining, make sure you have all your information ready. Order numbers, dates, account details, etc.
Mistake number 3, not offering or asking for a solution. Just complaining without being solution-oriented makes you seem difficult.
Mistake number 4, using aggressive body language or tone. Even if your words are polite, if you're standing too close, pointing fingers, or raising your voice, you'll put people on the defensive.
And mistake number 5, giving up too easily. If the first person can't help you, politely ask to speak with someone else. It's okay to escalate when necessary.
Great list. Now let's talk about some advanced vocabulary for complaints and problem solving. These words will make you sound more professional and fluent.
Okay, here are some useful adjectives. Unsatisfactory. The service was unsatisfactory. Unacceptable. This delay is unacceptable. Disappointing. The quality was disappointing. Defective. The product appears to be defective. Substandard. This is substandard workmanship.
And here are some useful nouns. Inconvenience. We apologize for the inconvenience. Oversight. This was an oversight on our part. Discrepancy. There's a discrepancy in the invoice. Malfunction. The device has a malfunction. Compensation. We'd like to offer compensation.
And some useful verbs. To rectify. We'll rectify this immediately. To resolve. Let's work together to resolve this. To reimburse. We'll reimburse you for the full amount. To escalate. I need to escalate this to my supervisor. To amend. We can amend the order.
Those are all excellent vocabulary words. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about cultural differences because this is so important.
Yes, in British English, people tend to use more indirect language and softeners. They might say, "I'm terribly sorry, but this is a bit problematic," when they mean, "This is a serious problem."
Right. And in American English, we're generally more direct. We might say, "There's a problem with this," rather than, "This is a bit problematic."
In Australian English, they're pretty direct too, but they maintain friendliness. They might say, "Hey mate, this isn't quite right. Can we sort it out?"
And it's worth noting that in business settings across all English-speaking countries, written complaints tend to be more formal than spoken ones.
Absolutely. And one more thing. Always end on a positive note. Even if you're frustrated, finishing with "Thank you for your help" or "I appreciate your time" leaves a good impression and makes people more willing to help you.
That's such good advice. So let's do a quick summary of everything we've covered today.
Great idea. So to complain effectively in English, start with a polite opening. state the problem clearly and specifically, offer or ask for a solution, stay calm and professional, use appropriate vocabulary and phrases, follow up if necessary.
And when responding to complaints, acknowledge the problem, apologize sincerely, act to solve it, thank the person for bringing it to your attention.
Perfect summary. And remember, everyone, practicing these phrases and scenarios will make you so much more confident in real situations.
Absolutely. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. And don't worry if you make mistakes. Even native speakers struggle with complaining politely sometimes.
So true. The key is just to be respectful, clear, and solution-focused.
Well, everyone, that wraps up today's lesson on how to complain and solve problems in English. I really hope you found this helpful.
Me too. If you enjoyed this lesson, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends who are learning English, and don't forget to subscribe to Native Speakers channel for more practical English lessons.
And if you have any questions or want us to cover specific scenarios, leave a comment below. We read every single one and love hearing from you.
Thanks so much for watching, everyone.
See you in the next video. Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, you've got this.
Bye.